Malphite a big problem for me. He's just doesn't take any damage and he eats all of it. I think I'm died to my own hubris a lot, to be honest. I had such a good lead and I'm just, look, it doesn't matter. Look, here's the thing. You know, I had 7 stacks at 8 minutes. I now have 20 stacks at 30. Like, more pen, I think. More penetration. Big. GG boys. First game. All right, let's pump it, boys. Another game of League. This one's gonna end in a win as well. Cigarettes and honey. There's so much Jace going around in pro play. Grandma, she's good. She's 1v9. Cigarettes and honey. 604, by the way, guys. Bruh.
One for each barrel.
I mean, alright. Alright. Cool. Oh, you didn't see that because I didn't change the scene. Sorry. Well, we got a kill. Sorry. TLDR, we got a kill. Yeah, put that on your racism quote on Reddit as well. Oh shit, another kill. Wait, she actually maybe just running it though. Oh, she was mid. I think her mid got taken. Is she running it or is she just bad? Many questions. Alright, can you tell me how he hasn't been hit with Thunderlords yet? Rioter. Thunderlords, Thundies. Potentially dead here, actually. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, but there it is, finally. How come Thunderlords took so long then too? Auto attack 3 procs of W and then Q reset. First Q, then second W, and then returning Q. Should be Thunderlords as well. Interesting. You mean electrocute? No, I mean fucking Thunderlords. Because I'm a lord and it is thunder. Nice. Keep it going. Is she inting? She running it? Or high? Question mark.
The Vasani left so much behind. I will find it all.
Well, Thunderlords can't proc because it's not in the game. Well, I say Thunderlords. I prefer it. And I'll keep saying Thunderlords. Suck this fart. Suck my fart. Yeah, Jace is fine. Jace is fine. He's coming back to lane. I'm crashing the wave. Look at him. He's gonna... I want these minions. Minions? Minions? My minions don't care. I'm dead. My minions don't give a shit. Bro. I had 8 million minions. And they just walked past me, watched me die, and said, peace late, idiot. Ah, GG. Ollie's on my bed. Oh, another cannon minion missed. Greatest player in the world. Oh. Bro.
Remember this moment. Just for you. I carry the legacy of the Bassani.
It's gonna be difficult. I have no armor. I realize that's why I'm taking so much damage. The runes didn't give me armor. They just automatically give me MR, which is just so frustrating. He will blind this. Recalling here before. Also, no ward skin's kind of sussy Barker. It could be a Smurf. Doing decent job. Not for a regular plat. Alright, let's type exclamation mark rank in the chat for me, please. Let's have a look. Live game. Ah, he's not. I mean, out of nowhere, he's got his first game of Jhin ever on this account. I mean, of Jace. Yeah, what the hell? I'm just saying his usual championcy players are suddenly... He's a Jhin one trick. Bro, this man's got the most sus account ever. GG. One item, by the way.
This forest brings me back to my days.
Ah, man. Did they buff Jace recently? He seems so strong, dude.
No more holding back.
Alright, Jin.
Save me from myself, girl. Don't worry about me.
Delicious.
Holy shit, it's GG, bro.
Darling, baby. Girl, don't worry about me. 'Cause if you're ever unhappy, if you're ever unhappy, if you're ever unhappy, then maybe
Bro. Can't do anything. Feeling so weak this game. Yes, I know, dude. Richachu. I know.
I may have 9 but I have
What? What? Man just died 1v1 to... Bruh, go next.
you're my prey.
Can push up. I really think we should still hold mid though. Really don't want to be in this game anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not feeling it at all. This Cassandra is unhinged.
Oh, I love the way you dance. Oh, how you move, you see. Oh, how you turn your head. How you look me in the eye, my girl. So, you're a rose pink Cadillac, and I love the way you roll.
Alright. That was a shit game of League. It's taken all the wind out of my sails. Plus chat's fucking giga omega dead. And a message in chat in 20 minutes. You guys must have loved that game as much as I did.
Last a long ass journey.
Alright, let's mix it up.
Some fool that broke the map. Everyone's digging for the cross on the page. No one knows where it's at. 'Cause I love
We're gamers. Yeah, we're gamers. Oh, hey, George, what's up? Welcome, man. When did you get here? Been lurking since the start of the game, but didn't watch. See, that's what I mean. Trying to get to gold. Gold what? TFT. Cool. Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you don't, like, you know, if people want to like come in and lurk and they don't watch it, it means that it's poor quality. You know what I mean? Because like, there's no shot that you couldn't like, if you were super wanted to watch a stream, you'll be paying more attention to it if you're playing TFT. So we need to swap it up because that game sucked and I feel shit about it. If chat's dead, that means it must not be as receptive for the boys. So we need to swap it up. I'm gonna play a different game. Yeah, you're right. Plus, I mean, like, the only interaction I have with to know if content good is if chat good. Chat dead, content dead. Swap it up. Content shit, we move. I want to play this thing. I was sweating. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you at all. I swapped content. Game was shit. If the stream wasn't shit. If the game wasn't shit, chat would be pumping. Sure. I have been... Oh, content. Not game. The game good. Content bad. We need to swap it up. For sure. Hold. Let me look. $10? Sure. Plus, I want to play / finish this game anyway, so. Huh? That is the right code. Renown time? It actually could be renown time shortly as well, but we can do that later. How you doing, by the way, Sky? Lovely to see you. Oh, on A-Rams. Oh, how's the A-Rams treating you, bro?
I don't wanna see you cry. You don't have to feel this emptiness. She said I love you till the day that I die.
All right, I'm gonna reach out for you guys for clarification and farm some parasocial Andes here. Okay. Big jump down. -2. So it goes up a little bit. And +2. Oh, was I +2ing the wrong thing? And +3 on 4. Yeah. And then 2, 2. 2, 2. 3, 2, 2. Perfect. Now let's try compressor settings.
For you to start air.
This is
You're
just
getting to
like settings in my
14.
microphone.
What it's going to do is it's compressing that 16 decibels. You
Okay.
notice that. And you're going to start slowly moving that all the way to the top. And you're going to start speaking kind of loudly into the microphone. Not shouting or anything, just a strong voice. And you're going to start slowly moving that threshold knob down until you notice your voice getting slightly quieter. The moment you notice that, I want you to drop it down another 10 decibels from that point. That's
Okay. Okay. Sure. So I need to speak as loudly as I can and then drop it 10 decibels. All right. I'm speaking pretty loudly, dude. The second that I notice that it's starting to get a little bit quieter, then I can drop it like 10 decibels lower than that, dude. Oh, wait. I see. I haven't even noticed. All right. All right. We're going to speak pretty loudly in the microphone, dude. And then we're going to like actually slowly start dropping it down the second I start noticing it getting... All right. Here. 19. All right. 19. Done. Cool. Oh, his is around the same.
That's where you're going to set your threshold. And the only other thing you're going to touch here is the makeup gain. You're going to bring that back up a couple decibels, whatever you need to move that to make your voice
All right.
a normal volume again, like your average voice, the same volume as your average voice was before. And you're done with compression. The last
Okay.
one is the de-esser. It's just kind of a nice
Okay,
little
sure.
polishing plugin. The GoXLR Mini doesn't actually have
Sure.
de-esser.
So now I need to like bring it up. I mean, it's already there. I'm just going to copy the fucking same settings as him. All right. De-esser?
Sir, if you have it, I'm sure you notice, you're wondering where it is. It's because it's bus powered. It doesn't have a power brick in the wall, and it doesn't supply enough power to
All right, cool. Now let's try here.
Here's the deal, streamer.
Add a gate.
Threshold buffer.
All right, I don't care about the
So
noise
once
gate.
your background
That's fine.
noise
EQ.
help illustrate like the shush. It's a little +5 on, or I guess high, a bit of tinge in the bass.
Advanced 10Q.
Is we're gonna leave it flat.
Oh. Ah, looks similar. All right, hold. Let's see what he has. Okay, EQ the plan. Simple. All right, let's go back to compressor. 3, 9, and then 63 hertz. He has a 2. Why?
We talked about that in the very beginning. That is what's called a low shelf, or a low pass. Sorry. And
All right, what else has he
we
got?
are not going to mess with that.
500 he's got down as well.
I'm going to just
All right, I want to look at the rest of his settings. 500 he's got down. 1 kilohertz he's got back up immediately. Well, why don't I like kind of copy that? So it's like, yeah, that's better. That seems like more of a curve. And then for 4, he's got, yeah. All right, what's Kick Trapper? What's this guy's name? Does he even do
I'm not
anything
gonna
anymore?
lie. The title of this video is a little.
He doesn't do anything anymore. All right, GoXLR setup.
So 90 hertz. You're just gonna start.
All right, what does he do here? Does he just do the
Very
exact
high, very
same
hard.
thing
Really
again?
slow on the
Yeah,
low.
okay. Sure, some saving B setup. All right, let's have a look at this.
Before we get started though, I'm going to assume that you have a stand or a boom arm or something so that you can get your microphone close to your mouth, because without that,
Yeah.
it's going to sound terrible and pick up all of the room sound and just not be very good. So
True.
these settings won't really matter if your microphone isn't set up correctly
All right,
first.
facts.
Okay, so let's get started making our SM7B sound good with the Go X
All right.
that I think are missing or things that
All right, cool.
and you want it to be set around -12 decibels. So you're aiming for this line here.
What?
And
What?
your
No.
meters between -15 and -10 around this
Oh.
area here. So for me, that's going to be like 10 decibels of makeup gain. And as you can see, it's now hitting just underneath the peak.
Oh, okay. Dude, I now get it. Oh, okay. I kind of get it. All right. So this can drop down a little bit further. 6. And then you can, yeah. This can now go back up. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then this is like perfect for me, actually. Like, actually, this is good. All right, cool. Let's save that. Let's save that. Done. Done. Saved.
Like
Now let's
average
check out his EQ settings.
strong compressor. I like to sound like I'm on a radio show worth it.
Oh, I don't care for that. Can you show me your EQ, please? Did you do the EQ last? Oh, you did do the EQ last, you dirty boy. All right, let's have a look. 2 4 4 2 2 0 0 0 3. Wait, have you finished this? Is this finished? Is this completed?
So the de-esser, you don't want to have on very strong, if at all, because obviously adding in and be heard down there. So put that in.
Want to watch LCK so you can make up for your sleep? I'm guessing that you're saying that the LCK games are kind of trash tonight. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch the LCK. Not at all. What I do want is to install this game and play it.
At -2.
How to get the best audio. All right, here's another one.
Watch this when I adjust the system. You can see these are motorized.
All right, I don't care. Oh,
And microphone,
motorized.
this is the level of my.
Bro, just tell
You
me
can choose what happens.
how to be
My
a
banks.
streamer.
Set up chat mic in this.
I don't know
You
how
may
to do
notice
it
that
yet.
you have more
I'm
than
new.
4
I'm
channels.
new. I'm new to streaming. Tell me how to be a streamer.
Barrier over here. Don't let it peak to.
Okay, sure, dude.
What
Whatever.
you have, I don't care. Microphone. It's not going to make a difference in my case.
What's your
because
EQ
it's, dynamic.
settings?
And the stream. Now if I press,
Bruh.
but I can. You can see. If I decrease this completely. Now that range is
I'm leaving this video. I don't care. EQ settings. Go XLR. Go XMR. Wow. Go XLR. Wait, was I even in the league category? I was. Hanging out with chat. And then I'll just go just chatting. And then I will pump. What playlist? This. Not this. Okay. SMSP set up. I want like a really goated, you know? How to with Go XLR. I like this guy.
I get asked this question quite a lot, especially on my Go XLR setup video on YouTube, which you should go check out, because if you've set up your Go XLR from a YouTube video and it wasn't my one, you've not got it set up in the best way. I promise you, I've watched every video. So I'm just going to run through my EQ settings in the Go XLR app for my Shure MV7 mic. So I have my mic gain set to 50 dB, gate 4, and then just from left to right, 2, 2, 2.
Shit.
2, -2, -1.
Good. Kinda good.
-1, 0, 0, 0. Scrolling along here on the compressor.
What? I don't understand that.
-10 dB, 3, 2, 1, 2, 45, 0, and then 50 on the DSR. I get asked this question quite a lot, especially on my Go XLR setup video on YouTube, which you should.
Not a fan of
While I
that.
was streaming, someone asked me how I recreated the Bo Burnham vocal effect. I'm going to show you how I did it using my Go XLR. So if you're interested, get your fucking hands up. Open the Go XLR app and navigate to the effects tab. Choose any preset you'd like. Just make sure the
I don't care. I want to look at more EQ settings, please. The best Go XLR settings. Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, the title of this video, most involved 4K frequency.
Right, just show me the end. All right, what do we got? All right. Let's see what I've got in comparison. All right, so he went -9 and then he kicked it up. So this doesn't need to be hushed as much. So I can unhush that and bring that up. Wow, okay. That adds, all right, this is it without, without, with. Adds a little bit of whatever. All right. 2, and then he's got -1 here. So I'm gonna just do this and kind of just like equal it out a little bit there. And then that's still -5, which I agree with. And then he puts up 500 to 1, and then 2, and then 8. So then he goes 1, 2. So his 1 is on a 0, and his 2 is on 2. His 2 is on 1. Okay, so it's like here. And what's his 4 at? His 4 is 2, and his 8. What's his 8 at? 3. So if I do that, what does that do for me? And his 16's on 0. So he can drop it back down after that. So if I put that to 1, I put that to 2, 1, and I put that to 1, and that to 2, like that, that's a little better. That's literally exactly his settings. Oh, except no, it's not. That's dropped down more, and that's dropped down up. I kind of like this one. This one's not too bad. Except I can just do that. What's his 1 at? His 1's at 0. Yeah, I'll just copy this one. Do I copy this one? Oh, dude, I don't know. This is the thing. I'm not an audio engineer. I don't know this sheesh. Have to be an audio engineer just to like stream on Twitch, bro? Huh? All right. Now, what's this compressor at? Oh, this is just like all of it. Okay. Except I'm pretty sure it hasn't set up his compressor yet.
Around -10 to -5 dB, or in other words, between kind of right where the yellow and the red line meet. You'll notice right now I'm significantly below that. I'm at about -15 at my highest. So I'm gonna have to add about 5 to 6 dBs to get up into that range where now you can see I'm peaking up very little bit into the red. If you're having to do a lot more than like 8 decibels, your initial gain is a little bit too low and you need to bump that up a little bit. So now...
Okay. Where do I have my initial gain though?
Microphone, choose dynamic. If you have a condenser microphone or you're using a microphone with a cloud lifter or FET head or some mic activator, you'll choose condenser. And if you're using a 3.5mm microphone or using a USB microphone and running it through the headphone jack,
just tell me where I need to put it.
3 point really annoying, but at the same time, setup page, and you need to determine how much gain your microphone needs and what type of microphone it is. If you have a dynamic microphone,
oh my god, tell me where it needs to go.
If you have a 0.5mm, you want to be at the high end of low, low end of good.
High end of low, low end of good. High end of low, low end of good. High end of low, low end of good. Okay. High end of low, low end of good. High end of low, low end of good. High end of low, low end of good. Oh god, it's way too loud. Turn it down. Turn it down. We're just turning it down. High end of low, low end of good. High end of low, low end of good. High end of low. Wait. High end of low, low end of good. Okay. Yeah. This is it. Nice. High end of low, low end of good. Perfect. Done. Dude, I'm a microphone engineer now. We've done it.
That's going to make sure you have a low enough noise floor so that your PC fans aren't really...
Perfect.
When I talk about the equalizer, I...
Alright, done.
Get all the way away.
Done.
It doesn't...
It's done. It's done. It's done. Now I want to watch what he said.
I get asked this question quite a lot, especially on my GoXLR setup video on YouTube, which you should go check out, because if you've set up your GoXLR from a YouTube video and it wasn't my one, you've not got it set up in the best way. I promise you, I've watched every video. So I'm just going to run through my EQ settings in the GoXLR app for my Shure MV7 mic. So I have my mic gain set to 50 dB, gate 4, and then just...
50 dB. The loudest microphone in the world. What? Huh? Okay. Well, I don't know, dude. Look, dude, straight up, I just don't know. I don't know how to be an audio engineer. I'm just going to save it and just leave it. I'm just going to save it and leave it. It sounds kind of good now. I'm just going to save it and leave it. Okay? Saving, leaving. Hog. Oh man, I don't know, dude. Let's get one more person's opinion, one last opinion on what I should do. The ultimate guide. Yeah, best settings for the Shure SM7B. Best settings, podcast mic setup, best settings. Sound amazing. Demo. This guy's just Giga Chad. Sound good. Sound amazing. The same. Sound amazing. EQ settings. Noise gate. All right, let's just suss this guy out. Oh, I've watched him before. Oh my God, I hate this.
A lot more power.
Oh, he sounds horrible.
But we do want to boost 1.5K and 2.7, 2.5, somewhere in there, just a little bit to give a little. After that, we're going to take a dive somewhere around 13.5K. We're going to bring that down to -3. Most vocal mics don't have a lot of love up here anyway. Again,
Bruh. I'm a microphone engineer. I'm not, dude. How do you make your A? Sound like a pro on stream. Ultimate audio. Here we go. This guy's done like 1,000 of these.
Let's take your stream audio from sounding like this to this. Much better. This really terrible sounding audio is being recorded on one of my favorite USB mics to have ever released. It's bad, but it's not far off from how most Twitch streams
polish,
sound.
polish,
But
motion replay. Here we are.
Compressor and a de-esser, again using replugs. EQing is more of an art than a science. I could make a whole video on this, or a whole series on this even. Comment below if you'd like that. But there's some general rules to follow. Usually, you want to start cutting everything below 60 hertz-ish to avoid too much bass. You might think you want this left in, but many listeners will complain about boominess, and you might start to
Cut everything 60 hertz. We've done that, actually.
activate the subwoofers of listeners' setups, which is not a good thing. Higher voices may not need this, but mid and lower voices do. 100 to 150 hertz is where some of the warmer frequencies live. A small boost to this can help give your sound that warm radio sound on some mics. On others, you may actually need to go ahead and cut this to avoid some muddiness. Muddiness in the voice is a huge problem around 200 to 250 hertz. Too much of these frequencies and your voice can be almost impossible to decipher. I usually cut a little bit here depending on the mic. The 800 to 1000 hertz range is considered the mid.
So 1, 2, 3 hertz. Okay, wait, hold up. We're starting to learn a little bit here. Oh, so I already buffed this. So this is my warm. Oh, whoa. Wait. So this is super hollow. This is super warm. Oh shit, I hear it. Oh shit, I hear it. All right. So this is like really nice, really warm. And now I am in the doldrums. All right, I'm going to bump that up. That's like, that's really cool to know. That was at, all right, 2, where was it before? Like 2, 3, okay.
Mids. A lot more of your nasally frequencies live here. A cut at 1000 hertz can significantly improve the sound of your audio.
Cut out around 1000 hertz can significantly improve your audio. A cut around here can significantly improve my audio. Then why? Wait. How is this getting more views than the solo queue games? That's what I'm saying. The solo queue game wasn't good.
Depending on the mic and speaker.
Okay.
Frequencies around 3000 hertz can add some clarity to your audio with a
Clarity.
small boost. Too much and you start to get too crisp and too sharp for some listeners' ears.
Okay. So around 3K, it gets sharp. Sharp around 3K. So if I go super high on like around 3K, so like around here. Whoa. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's buff that. Let's buff these. So I have like a little bit of a spike.
Remember, less is more. And a huge rule of EQing work is to cut before you add. We're not here to boost you to sounding like a robot, unless you want that. We just want to cut out some of the less flattering frequencies just a bit. Sometimes a little mid cut, a little high boost, and a low cut is all you need. Play with it and test a lot, with plenty of breaks to do. 100 to 150 hertz is where some of the warmer frequencies.
Okay, well, I kind of like what he's saying there. So I'm gonna follow that advice and I'll go a little bit too crazy, like fucking around with how the microphone picks shit up, because it's the microphone's fault, right? So I mean, let's just do a little bit of a here. Let's get rid of some of this. Let's just drop this down. Let's keep some of this clarity that he's talking about here. And I don't know what this 8000 hertz does. So I'm just going to put that on 1 and put like 0, 0. So it's just a little bit of a, and then it goes back down. Okay. So even if that's like 3.5, let's say we'll give it a bit of a up, and then it can go back down. Maybe even 3.75. Okay, cool. So we can give it a little bit of a up and then back down.
Frequencies live. A small boost to this can help give your sound that warm radio sound on. We're not here to boost you to sounding like a robot.
All right, let's see if we can get some more settings, more ideas. I don't know how this game more than my solo queue games. That's what I mean, dude. My solo queue game wasn't good. It wasn't good content. This is apparently good content. All right, only up's downloaded. We can play it in a sec. Elgato made EQ easy.
Gamma Scotty wrote, I would love to see. You know what I'm saying? Something like this. If you don't really want to sound nasally, you can kind of fool around over here. Same thing with presence and air. Now, the Reaper EQ initially starts off with 4 dots, 4 bands that you can kind of play around with, move around, up, down, left to right, diagonal, sideways, etc. This one does the same exact thing, but suppose that you kind of want to add some more and control a little bit more. Maybe I sound a little too nasally, you know what I mean? So I just double click, boom, added. And now you're going to start hearing some differences here, right? I don't know what it sounds like because I'm recording this without actually listening to how, it's impacting the audio. This is way better than the Reaper plugin, EQ plugin is, because although they both technically kind of do the same exact thing.
Why doesn't mine look like that? Why doesn't mine look like that? Jerusalem 7B $400 podcast is overkill for streaming in YouTube. Yeah, probs. The secret, you can finally add your Elgato mic and any other effects. Hello. Why does he look so cute?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? We will get lights in here and maybe even doors at some point. That'll be nice. That'll save me a lot of setup time
tired
for every video. But hey, Elgato brought us a Christmas gift this year and a pretty big one.
Wavelength.
I know you decorate.
I'd show me.
That up a tiny bit. Again, just giving our voice a little bit more detail, a little bit more sparkle. Now, let's do this. We've got our EQ. We've boosted more than we've cut, so let's compensate by pulling this down about maybe 1 decibel. We should be fine there. Now the EQ shouldn't be a volume increasement. It's just making it sound nicer. But let's open up our Stream Deck.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, dude. Why do I need to be an audio engineer, bro? Why do I need to be an audio engineer to stream? Bro, nah, you know what? I think I did this last time and I just got mad. I'm just like, fuck this. What's the where it gets muddy? Around 1K. All right, I'm gonna put 1 here. I'm gonna put 1 there, and I'm just gonna put 0. I'm gonna put 1 there, and then we're just gonna do the tiniest little bit of EQ work. This can stay as just getting rid of all the rumblies, unless I want the rumblies. No, it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't. Here's the thing. It just doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't. This shit doesn't matter. There, a tiny little bit of cut here, a tiny little bit boost here, was it? Yeah, around 100. Tiny boost around 100, a tiny cut around 1000, a tiny boost around 3. That's all you need. Okay? Maybe a bit more of a cut here because I have such an annoying voice. Perfect. Done. That's all I'm going to have. Now that I understand it, that's all I'm doing. Now I need to probably fix like the de-esser or fix it up, but man, all right, let's just get rid of the de-esser. Let's just get rid of the DS. Man, I'm not even that harsh on my S's anyway, but who cares? All right, cool. Done, fixed. Jesus, kill me. I hate it. All right, now let's look at compressing settings. EQ's done. Let's look at compressor. Compressor settings, go XLR. Chat, I hate this. Ultimate settings, ultimate settings, ultimate settings, ultimate settings, ultimate settings, ultimate settings, perfect settings. Ooh.
Bad stream audio got you down, burning your viewers. Well, we've got the fix.
Holy
in
shit.
OBS 29. Let's do it. Yeah! OBS Studio 29 is primarily a video-focused update. You have expanded frame rate options for capture cards. You've got AV1 support for Intel and AMD graphics cards. You got HEVC and ProRes encoders.
New audio filters? What? No, do go back. I was watching that.
Bad stream audio got you down.
We can only go up now, dude.
Sound a little bit better. You could apply it to anything, not just microphones, but it's a basic EQ. 3 bands isn't great, but you can do some stuff with it. And the second is an upward compressor, which you'd primarily use to apply to your game sound or other background sound to reduce the dynamic range on the quiet side so your viewers can still hear it. We're going to combine everything we've learned in my first 2 recent, perfect stream audio guides into one guide here and review the neat Microphones King B2 here, because this thing is using VST.
Cool mic. All right, gain staging. Let's have a look. Gain stage.
Audio levels here. I will reference my older guides a bit in saying that I do have a whole section dedicated to that, talking about gain staging, which is setting the gain on your microphone or your audio interface so that it actually comes into your computer pretty quiet, so you don't clip or peak even when you start shouting, but it is clean enough that you get the levels that you need, and then we amp it up in post-production with our processing settings.
What do you
I
mean
have mine coming
amp
in
it up
pretty
in
high.
processing?
Because of the...
All right, hold up. I am yelling and it's not doing it, so now I need to drop threshold. Just drop the threshold and then click save. Done. Perfect.
the way
Dude,
XLR
I'm
handles things, but
learning.
if you are following that video as well, you just have a much quieter audio setup here down here. Where
Okay.
It would just show you kind of.
Yeah.
I'll show the graphic on screen for where your levels should be. I explain it more in that video. But
Your
effectively,
voice average
you want
peaks.
your microphone coming
Game
in
sound.
at around like minus.
Music sound. All right, where's my music sound right now? Music sound's at here. Dude, I've already got this nailed. Alerts, voice chat, your voice. Dude, I did. I'm actually kind of the sickest. I've already got that.
As its peaks, and then gain it up later. I've already affected.
Gain
Full gain
staging.
is clean. It won't add any hiss or noise or whatever that isn't already present in your signal. And we're just gonna crank it up until we're hitting about -2. That's fine. We're going to be adding in post-processing filters before it finally clips. That will keep it from clipping. But in this short moment here, we will be clipping a little bit. So again, we want that up in the -2, -5 range. Make sure we're not clipping a ton. But even if you do clip,
What do you mean
minus
-2, -5?
I start clipping a little bit. That's fine, because this is clipping in software, and as we apply other filters, it will keep us from clipping in the final output.
Wait, he's telling me to be much louder than I am. All right, dude. Hey, you asked for it. I will be louder. All right, hold. We go mix. We go microphone settings. We go straight to here. We go mic setup. Dude, because like it's like, oh, be in a good range. And now it's like, be louder. So sure. What if I'm just the loudest person in the world? No. Come on. I'm not crazy. All right. So we're at 22 and now we're at 29. And like the compressor's coming in pretty clutch. Wait, you can hear the background. Listen. I pump this up. You can just hear the like TV in the living room. Yo. All right, that's a little loud. 22 is where we're at. Let's go 25. I think 25's pretty good. Hey, 25 sounds pretty good. All right, cool. Bro, I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear your heartbeat. All right, that's kind of cool.
The next stage is to decide on your
All right.
EQ and your compression.
Yeah.
EQ is tuning the frequencies of.
All right, we've learned this.
Pretty much everyone needs to tone down the mids, either at around 800 or 1000 hertz, which helps with nasaliness and things like that. And so you could use it to, subtract from your microphone to make it sound better, or you could use it to boost certain frequencies to add a little extra flavor for it. The typical
Boxy is like they're saying 1.4. 1.4 to 2. What's 1.5? He's dropped it here at 3. Boxy is the 500 range that I'm cutting out. But I need it to come back up, and then I need it to drop back down, you know? So it's like, how do I make it jump back up and then drop back down, you know? And then come back up like immediately. So I don't, at 2, I want it just to be like chilling. So at 2, I want it to be chilling. I don't know how to do this. Maybe I move this to like 1.7. Move this to 1.2. 1.3. Perfect.
Chain for this.
I don't know how to set up a microphone, dude.
Recovery, then compress,
Alright,
and then
whatever.
EQ mine within about 4 to 6 inches of
3 band correction. Okay. Whatever this is. Compressor setup. Sure. This is kind of what I want to know. I want to know how to compress my shit.
possible point in your signal and the quietest possible point in the signal, and it reduces that by way of squishing the top part. So it
Yeah.
doesn't really affect the quiet signals. What it does is it takes the
Me when
loudest
I'm
parts
loud.
that you get above a certain threshold, which
Yeah.
is a set volume level. Everything
Okay.
above a set volume level is going to get
Everything-
squished into itself and reduce the dynamics there so that it's a little bit more consistent. Because the issue you have
Yeah.
when doing podcasts or live streams or whatever
Yeah.
is most of your average talking, voices are
Yeah.
about around here, whatever this range is for you. But then you have a lot of ups and downs. As you get quieter, you get excited, or blah 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 blah, and you have some. variance
Okay,
there
dude. I don't get
that
excited.
Becomes a little grating to listen to, and a little harder to avoid, clips and peaks and distortion and things like that when you're game streaming or.
No, but like, how do I get people that are not watching to then just
And so
scare the shit out of them? Because that's what I like
kind of
doing.
thing. In terms of ratio, typically the recommended settings for voiceover is
Exclamation
3 to
mark
1
ratio.
all the way up to 4 or 5 to 1. I've seen sometimes. Typically it's 4 to 1. I've been
4 to 1. What's mine? 4 to 1. Oh, let's go. But he's doing 3 point something, so I'm gonna do that.
more towards 3 to 5 to 1. What the ratio does is that is how much it is squishing that top part down. So
Okay.
if you are someone who gets much louder than your average talking point at random, you might want to squish that a little more. The more you squish it, the less range your voice will have, and the more broadcasty kind of podcast.
Okay.
That radio sound where it all sounds the same temperature. It's
All right, so the higher I push this number,
no variance to it or like
the
energy
more,
to it or anything
the
like that.
more
you squish it,
boxy.
the more that sounds. So 3.5
Wait.
to 4 is a little more gentle, a little more suited to the vocal range that provides that extra
Yo.
compression.
You know
that
what?
we need
No, I'm gonna go
without
to
getting
5.
too overdone. So
I'm feeling
typically
it.
What I recommend going with. The
Yo.
threshold is again the volume level
Okay.
at which once you
Copy
get
up.
over
If
top
I
of
have
it,
5
the
apples,
compressor starts
and what, and you ate 7 of those apples.
activating. So you can look
Okay.
at ourselves here as we are talking. As we are talking,
Listen.
Our average talking is still around -12. We could probably crank that.
Wait,
gain
what do you
up
mean -12?
Just a little bit here.
Okay.
Talking. But we get those peaks that go up really
Those
high.
peaks.
Those peaks are what we have to worry about because those peaks are going
Those
to be
peaks.
what we need to push down. And so then we need to set
Compressor.
the compressor threshold to activate above what our average talking
Yeah.
point is. So here
Okay.
for us, it is looking to be around -15.
All right, talk.
still. Again, we could crank that gain up a little bit and adjust that. So now we're talking, and our averages are. We're still just kind of peaking.
All
up
right,
there.
talk.
We're gonna really crank it down.
Talk.
I'm switching back to my non-processing
Yo.
for you to hear this, just so I don't
All right,
rip your ears out.
dude.
Right now we're at about -9. So everything above -9, we want to squish into itself.
Wait. I need to get rid of my
We wanna
compressor, my
sample
makeup game.
podcasts, so you
All
can keep our
right, so
gain
this
down a
is
little bit,
without makeup
so that
game.
way we only have to activate.
Oh my god. Okay, without makeup gain, I don't have much. Wait, why does my voice sound better without compressor makeup gain? Dude, what's going on? Adding stuff makes it sound worse. Dude, I don't know. I don't know, Dad. Because it blows up your voice, mate. Yeah, but like, dude. Whatever. Dude, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to add, because now, yeah, no. What? But now it's compressed too much. Is it? Dude. Yeah, dude. I don't know. All right, I need to get... All right, I'm just going to leave that at 20. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get rid of this fucking compressor. I'm going to turn that off. How do I make it so it's 0? Okay, 0. All right, we have a clean input now. It's just clean. Done. I don't care. It's just done. And now this is fine. I'm going to put this back to like 24. I'm not going to touch compressor because I ain't a bitch. Wait, anything over 2 gets compressed. Done. Just anything over 3 gets compressed by a ratio of 64. Sure. No, by a ratio of like 5. I'm not crazy. Come on, let's be honest. All right, done. Done. And then I can boost it by 1. 1. Is that fine? How was that? Is that it? Is that like, oh. Well, it's fine. Dude, no, I want it to be good though. I don't want it to be fine. I want it to be good.
Rated above, say, minus 17 here. So I'm going to keep my gain about plus 12.4. We're going to set our compressor to activate at about minus 17. We're going to turn that on. And what that's going to do is it's going to reduce the actual loudness that our peaks end up at, which is going to bring us back down this way, despite the gain.
Oh, it makes everything like that. Okay, so I want it at least minus 5 then. Minus 17? What are you, a dickhead? Wait, why has he got minus 17?
Here, which is what the output gain is for. But first, we got to set attack and release. Attack and release is basically how quick once you reach over that threshold.
Oh, shut up, music.
As soon as you cross that minus 17.5 here, for example, threshold, it will start to compress your voice. You generally want this to be pretty fast because otherwise you could let a peak slip out, or you could end up being kind of like, whoa, as it tames you down. Where if you keep it slow, like you'll be able to get really loud and then it brings you down, which could be interesting.
All right, so I want it like at minus 9-ish, you know?
Release that to
So
something like 200 milliseconds because you want it to
Or
keep
I
you
just make it
compressed
so
on that
everything-
hire range for
No,
longer.
no,
So
no, no.
again, you don't just bounce
Why
back
does he
and
say
forth like a
minus?
sine wave.
Let's
That
go to
would be
minus
really grating to
12.
listen to.
Let's go minus 12. Everything over minus 12 gets compressed a little bit.
Milliseconds attack, 200-ish milliseconds release, and then for output gain, again, you're just trying to get yourself up in the red. I know a lot of people have been commenting, being like, "You don't want to be in the red. Red is bad." Blah blah blah.
Red
as long
is
as you are
bad.
below 0 dB, you are not clipping. And
All right, so I want to be in the red. All right, so I just need to like kind of talk and then try and get into the red. Wait, where's my fucking thing? Try and get into the red. All right, so that puts me into the red. Plus 3 puts me into the red if I'm talking normally. If I'm just like talking like, all right, it's fine. Dude, it's fine. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm not an audio engineer. Yeah, all right, what does it sound like? Chat, does it even sound any different? You guys gonna say no, it doesn't sound any different. Day 0 learning audio. But here's the thing, societal norms. Here's the fucking thing. Okay? It sounds the same. I want to kill a very large cow to make pork chops for the family. I genuinely no difference. All right, look. You guys just enjoy like pissing me off.
just because it's red doesn't mean it's set up the same way. If you max out at minus 6 dB, you are going to be quieter than every other stream and video on Twitch. And we're going to make sure that you never clip with another filter we're adding later.
All right, well, I don't want to be quiet.
So for now, we are just going to crank that up. That's too much.
Because
See what I
I'm
mean?
the
If you're
main
worried-
character.
If you're trying to listen to this in real time or you're worried about clipping, we're going to go ahead and add another filter in the chain. This is called a limiter.
What the fuck?
I'm going to click add limiter, and I'm going to set the threshold.
I'm gonna add a limiter. Whoa. What? Why did it just sound like that? I'm just gonna add a limiter. Dude. Oh my god. Why can you hear me good? Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna add a limiter as well. I don't know what that does. Properties. How do I add filters? Filters. Okay. Add. Oh shit, there's all this cool shit here. Add limiter, okay. All right, well, what's your limiter at? Okay, I'm going to make my limiter 1.
To about minus 1.5 dB. A limiter is effectively a compressor with an infinite ratio. So every time you cross the minus 1.6 dB threshold,
Yeah.
basically every time you start to get too close to peaking, it is going to crush your audio down with the compressor by reducing the range and by affecting quality to make sure you never clip and peak.
Okay.
We want to be around -2 dB-ish for our noise, for just our overall sound profile.
Bro.
So if we set us to -2 to -5 dB here in the limiter settings,
-2 to -5.
then we are never going to cross that.
Wait,
And
wait.
you can play with the output gain to make sure you're not too
Whoa.
basically, like, you're
Yo.
ever so slightly bumping up against that limiter only when you really peak. So like my average talking right now.
Yeah, okay.
isn't that
No, I
-5,
like
but if I
that.
start to yell, you can see we're hitting that wall basically of -2 something dB.
All right, cool.
And that is what the limiter is.
Cool.
So we're still missing our second stage of EQ, which is going to add a little bit of flavor to our voice. So we're going to add another 3-band EQ. We're going to say flavor, and we want that before the limiter. The limiter is going to be the last thing in our chain pretty much no matter what in any audio processing chain, because it's the thing that just holds it all together. And it, order of operations is top to bottom, first, second, third,
Wait,
fourth,
wait.
fifth, etc. So limiter stays at the bottom.
Okay.
Now for our flavor EQ,
Add
I kind of need to take a sample here and see what I sound like for now.
some
Okay,
fucking
based
flavor.
on listening to our samples, we still have a little bit of nasally action going on, and we need to boost the highs a little bit to get a little bit of that clarity. So I'm going to cut the mids
Okay.
a little bit more. They just get kind of amplified through the nature
We're just
of
gonna get
compression.
rid of all.
And then we're going to boost the highs a little bit, which is going to take those higher frequencies that give us a little clarity and boost them.
Well,
to add a
show me
little
what you're
spark to our
doing,
voice.
dude.
2 different OBS and
He's just telling
take the
me.
highs, boost them
Oh,
a
here we
little
go.
bit. and
Okay,
I'm
okay. What did you do? What did you do? Huh? You got rid of some mids. I put like -20 on my mids because I'm cool.
All right, I'm gonna cut it by like 2. And I'm gonna cut. Oh wait, no, that's 20. I don't want 20. Wait, why am I so loud? I'm gonna pump the mids by 2, and then I'm gonna pump the highs by 2. Wait, -2. Oh, -2. Oh, -2. Yeah, I plus 20. Yeah, that was bad. All right, plus 2, +2, -2. All right, done.
I'm going to re-record my sample, see how I sound.
You sound-
Honestly, for just using a 3-band EQ, which I typically find very limiting, I'm pretty happy with how this sounds.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my, actually,
Oh,
I can
you
just
know.
do an A/B test right now based on what I have in my 2 different OBS instances. This is what the microphone sounded like raw coming out of the microphone, and this is what it sounds like coming out of the audio.
He put some stank on that though. And this is what it sounds like. Okay, dude.
More, take the highs, boost them a little bit, and I'm going to re-record my sample, see how I sound. Honestly, for just using a 3-band EQ, which I typically find very limiting, I'm pretty happy with how this sounds. I'm going to take my, actually, I can just do an A/B test right now based on what I have in my 2 different OBS instances. This is what the microphone sounded like raw coming out of the microphone, and this is what it sounds like coming out of the audio
Dude,
processing.
he
Not everyone's
does.
going to prefer it. You can tweak to your own heart's content and blah, blah, blah. But we made some good progress, and some of you commented on some of my more recent, budget microphone reviews, the difference that
Dude,
can be made.
I-
This is the process.
I need to
you
just
use
get a
do
boy
it.
in, you know?
And some of you are going to be out. So there are 2
Noise suppression gates, that's fine. Upward compression setup for game sound.
Apex Legends.
I love
And
going
the audio
side
is
hulls,
playing. You
dude.
can see it is very loud. I will go ahead and just fit the source to the screen. Not that it matters for what we're looking at. And you can see here it's very, very loud.
Okay.
Now, again, I'll show the image on screen of where your game audio should live. The basic step would, of course, be to just
drag it
that sucker
down.
so you can actually hear what I'm talking about. I will have cut between those different tracks so you
Okay,
can see
yeah.
how obnoxious that is. But you're going to run into a couple problems. First and foremost, to keep it consistently quiet enough, you really got to crank it down to be where it's going to be really hard to hear. And the second is, as you keep it really quiet, your viewers are going to hear less and less. And the quieter parts, like footsteps and things like that, your viewers are just not going to hear at all. And so we're going to address both of those things. First and foremost, we're going to let you set your game audio a little louder, but have it decrease in volume as you start talking. This is called auto ducking. and it can
Oh,
be
I
done with the
actually wanted to
sidechain
do that.
capability of the compressor. So if we come back in here to your audio mixer and click filters on the game sound
Wait,
source, or your
wait.
system sound, your music, whatever.
System sound maybe. Audio sound jet. What's my normal sound? Wait, it would be this video. Wait. Why did I pause it? I need this.
We're going to click the 3
It's
dots, go
broadcast
to
mode.
filters.
Okay.
We're going to
Three dots.
add
Filters.
a compressor.
Add compressor.
And under sidechain ducking source, we're going to choose your
Sidechain
microphone.
Ducking source.
Now, this changes what things happen.
Microphone.
So we're going to set our levels up a little louder here.
Shit.
I'm
so
learning.
that the average game sound can be heard a lot more loudly. But then whenever your microphone reaches above a certain threshold, this threshold is now whenever
Like,
your microphone,
whenever I'm
since we
talking.
set the sidechain source's microphone,
Okay.
whenever your microphone hits
Hits
that specific
like
threshold,
above 15
it's going to start
or above
squishing
20.
the game sound down. And so we can really crank this up if we want. And as we
Ratio.
start talking, you can watch that game sound go down. And as we stop talking,
Bro.
it goes back up a little bit. And again, you want that fast attack and super slow release. Like I would even make it a lot slower than the normal one. That way it's not just bouncing up and down in between words and things like that. Look at that get really loud. That's a little too loud. We could either decrease that with the fader here in the mixer like we were doing, or turn it down.
All right, so I
with
can
the
just basically
output
tell him
gain
to
here
shut up.
To like, -8. We gotta restart our video. So now
Oh,
we're
wait.
talking. You can see it's really, really quiet. Now it's pretty loud, but now we're talking.
Yeah, okay, but I can just like
Your threshold so it's not super jarring, but you get the idea there.
All
Now
right.
that's the basic step, the side chaining, the auto ducking. I've made a couple dedicated tutorials on it if you want to
Okay, interesting.
feature. I'll have them linked below. But then we also have the upward compressor. This works in the opposite of how we applied the compressor to our microphone, where when we applied it to our microphone, we wanted all of our peaks and the super loud points to be squished down so that we had a more consistent signal. With this, we are actually squishing down the quieter parts and squishing them up into the mid-range of your audio so that footsteps or small, quieter details.
Upward compressor.
Because you don't want it to negatively affect the levels you already kind
Okay. So I want to add an upwards compressor. Yes, that's that compressor that I just made. He left it at 18, 17 to 1 with an output gain. What is his output? Oh, maybe that changes. I don't know. I'm just going to drop that slightly. All right, let's try the upward compressor thing.
set here. So now we have the same set of controls with the upward compressor, more or less. You've got ratio, threshold, attack, release, and output gain. We don't want to touch output gain because we're managing that elsewhere. But with ratio and threshold,
One
basically,
has this thing called knee
it's
width
the
on it.
inverse. So instead of whenever something gets louder than this threshold, it's whenever something gets quieter than this threshold. So we want it set pretty quiet. Whenever something is quieter than, say, minus 45, because we can see here our averages are around here for the most part. When anything's quieter than minus 45, we want to really crank it up like that. We want a decent attack and probably that same release. And again, we probably don't want anything like this. I'm going to stop and listen to the sample before and after and see if it made a difference. This is a sample with no processing filters, just the game sound dropped down to minus 14.6 dB. This is talking while gaming. You can see here the game is pretty quiet, but it doesn't adjust when we stop talking. We stop talking, the game stays pretty quiet. You can't necessarily hear all the details, all that jazz. Now we have the game sound set to minus 5 dB, but we have the compressor sidechain auto ducking set up as well as the upward compressor. So when we stop talking, it's automatically adjusting, but it's also keeping fairly quiet below our talking voice otherwise. Test, 1, 2, 3, test. Combine this with all the other principles I teach.
I couldn't hear shit because he was talking the whole time and like compressing the audio. I don't know if I like this audio compressor thing. This thing here. I don't know if I like this ducking thing. So he's like, oh, look how good the fucking game sounds, but he's talking the whole fucking time and he's compressing the audio. Wait. So ratio, threshold. What's a ratio? Dude, I already forget everything. So ratio is like, how much is it going to change when it gets ducked from this? Wait, no, it looks different. Wait, this looks different. Wait, this looks different to his. Wait, go back. Go. Upwards, noise suppression, removal of gain. Sidechain / ducking. Slides change / okay. Yeah. Noob get ratio. Shut the fuck. I'm trying over here. All right, so ratio. His is super aggressive. I don't want mine to be as aggressive, you know? So yeah. And anything over probably like 19, because mine's set up a little bit more quieter than his. So everything like over 20 is basically what I'm going to be speaking anyway. So. Wait, maybe anything. Just whenever I'm talking is when I want it to shut up. Okay? So, which is just, look, this is me talking normal volume, and it's just barely barely over like 20. It's like 20, 15 maybe. Like 15, it's like where it's peaking. It needs to be like a little bit higher. See, wait, how can I show you guys this? Yeah, okay, here. So this is like the mic we have now, right? So I feel like we need to bump this up, but dude, I'm just opening 700 different fucking windows. All right, so this is the Go XLR. So I'm gonna need to I think this compressor's like fine, but it's compressing everything over 12. Why don't I make it so it just only wait, dude, I don't know anymore. Makeup gain. All right, we'll just pump the makeup gain a little bit more so we can just like I feel louder. That's probably because of the threshold. Wait, what was the threshold before? So it's all fine. All right, where's my other microphone? Oh, it got rebuffed. All right. So at the moment, Michelle, you've been doing this for like 90 minutes now. Bruh. See, this is what I do when I'm not live anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, so this compressor is kind of fine. So everything over 20 makes the game go quiet. So I mean, I'm talking, it's over 20, the game will be slightly quieter. That's chillin'. That's chillin' billin'. 90 minutes and it's not enough time to absorb all that. Okay, dude. Listen. I'm getting there. All right, so that's good, right? All right. No, I didn't run today. Don't worry. I woke up at like 3 o'clock. And we're both idiots, by the way. We're both fucking dumbass idiots, Gibson. Dumbass fucking poo shithead idiots. We said I have a month. We have 2 months. How are we so dumb we missed a whole month? It's June, not July. The run's in 27th of August. I have 2 months, not a singular month. It's like 40 days. It's at the end of August. I literally have 2 months. Isn't it? It's at the end of August, right? Or is it the start of August? Right, now I need to look up the... No, I'm getting sidetracked. You look it up. You have like 37 days. I don't have 37 days. I have 1,000,000 days. Anyway, I need to focus on this, okay? All right. So we have this set up. I think this sounds fine. I feel like the... Now 5 dBs of makeup gain's fine. Maybe 4 dBs of makeup gain. Maybe 4 dBs of makeup gain is fine. But like, see how it's super low, but then it gets picked up and it goes super loud when I'm like, I have like 2 settings. What runs this? Oh, it's a fun run. I'm trying to get into running. All right, let's just save this. I feel like I need to get rid of my de-esser because I'm saying, even when I say S's, why are my S's so fucking harsh? It's something to do with here, isn't it? No, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's my S's are so fucking harsh. I can hear it. Filters. Maybe it's this new 3-band equalizer that I put in here. I'm just gonna like... Wait, why do I need the equalizer if I already have an equalizer? Yeah, fuck off. All right, that's fine. All right, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, now we have this, and we have a gate set up, and then we have it. All right, let's just keep playing. Oh.
Increase that with the fader here in the mixer like we were doing, or turn it down with the output gain here to like -8. We got to restart our video. So now we're talking. You can see it's really, really quiet. Now it's pretty loud, but now we're talking. It's steps are small. Basically, it's the inverse. So instead, we want a decent attack and probably that same release. And again, we probably don't want anything like this. I'm going to stop and listen to the sample before and after and see if it made a difference. This is a sample with no processing filters, just the game sound dropped down to minus 14.6 dB. This is talking, say, we want...
Oh, why is his ratio, Lamau, so low? Wait. This is the compressor, right? Oh, this upwards compressor. Oh, I'm fucking with it, aren't I? I'm fucking with it, aren't I? I am fucking with it. Upwards compressor. Okay. What's this one? Wow, Coffee, that's pretty cool, but why'd you quit Diablo? Release output gain. I didn't need to change it. What's knee width? Why is what? Dude, I have an extra bar. Dude, I have an extra bar. Dude, I have an extra bar. Societal norms. What's this? What the fuck is this? I have an extra bar. What's knee width? Dude, why do I feel like I'm in a fucking, like, character creator here? Alright, how big do you want the threshold, the attack release? How wide do you want your knees? I'm playing fucking Skyrim. No, I'm just trying to stream, dude. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm actually losing my mind, man. Whatever.
A decent attack. And probably that same release.
What release do I have? Oh, my release is a little low. Okay. Knee is about the interaction between the compressor's threshold and the ratio settings. The compressor settings. I'm sorry for bullying you because you know more than me. It's a lot. It's just a lot, man. Like, so basically. Also, I don't need to fuck with this. This can stay wherever it is. I can change this on the fly. It's fine. Even though it's number assigned to it, think of it as soft, hard, or somewhere in between. What's soft and hard? Wait, your message is a riddle. Your message is a riddle. Wait, what can be soft and be hard? What? Even though it has a number assigned to it, think of it as soft and hard, or somewhere in between. Okay, what's soft or hard, but sometimes in between? I'm just gonna leave it. Dicks! The dick meter! Alright, how high do I need to make my dick meter? I need to make my dick meter at least 1 your mum long. Okay, understanding. Societal norms, do you think you'd make a good teacher? Or is maybe in the class clan it disrupted? Can we have class outside, societal norms?
And again, we probably don't want anything like this. I'm going to stop and listen to the sample before and after and see if it made a difference. This is a sample with no processing filters.
Dude,
just the
I can't hear shit.
Game sound dropped down to minus 14.6 dB. This is talking while gaming. You can see here the game is pretty quiet, but it doesn't adjust when we stop talking. We stop talking, the game stays pretty quiet. You can't necessarily hear all the details, all that jazz. Now we have the game sound set to minus 5.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that? No! Oh, man. No change. No change. It's no change. I need to plug in my headset. Oh, shit. I don't have a spare USB. Damn, what do I do now? Guys, I need a USB. That's me, not you. Hold up. Oh, I really like the stream where you had a mental breakdown. Oh yeah, me too, chat. YouTube video. Colby becomes that fucking audio. I want you guys to like make a YouTube music video out of it. Raging. Oh my god, there's no. I can't feel it. Dude, I need a USB. Okay. You just not hearing the change and then being in ruin is hearing me. Wait. Wait, I didn't read that message right at all. Don't worry. Alright.
Sir sidechain auto ducking setup as well as the upward compressor. So when we stop talking, it's automatically adjusting, but it's also keeping fairly quiet below our talking voice otherwise. Test, test, 1, 2, 3, test, test. Combine this with all the other principles I teach you in the other 2 episodes, which you should click and watch right now. And
Perfect audio every time. I'm watching it right now.
Audio.
I'm watching it right now. Alright. Run it again. Wait, where's my audio bar? I can't see it. Where is my audio bar? Oh, you're over here now. Can you just go back home? Where is your home? Go back home.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Your bad audio is turning off your viewers. Oh, this is the ultimate guide to fixing all of that, so you can sound better than even the top 1% on Twitch or YouTube. We cover your terrible mic gain settings.
But the fucking top 1% on Twitch don't do this shit. The top 1% on Twitch don't give a fuck. Why should I? Oh, because I'm washed up and don't get enough viewers, aren't you?
OBS filters, balancing your game and music sound, and so much more. Order now for this latest Stream Professor video course on video cassette.
EeblesVox.
It's hurting my eyes. Oh. Stream boom. Guess I'm never going to be an audio engineer. My dreams. Oh, shit. I accidentally unplugged this. Plug back in.
Stream Professor here, and it's time to learn you some audios. This video is focusing on the software side of your audio setup. Let's start with gain staging and your microphone. Then we'll get into some secret sauce for managing your background sound and other sources. Every single one of you, yes, even you, Joey, in the back there, every single one of you is setting your gain too high on your audio interface. I probably am on like half of these as well. Many of us learned the hard way that cranking the gain dial to your audio interface all the way up to 11 results in a lot of hiss or added noise floor being added to your audio, which you obviously don't want. It's often commonly believed that audio interfaces need a ceiling higher than
20 minutes.
Power a mic like the or distort when you get too loud. And I mean a lot of headroom. The truth is that despite what creators, even such as myself, have taught you in the past, you actually want your audio coming into your PC a little quiet. Quieter than you might expect. The normal YouTuber or streamer audio chain looks like this. Gain dial set to about 75%, average audio coming in around -6 dB. This is fine, you know, at your calm talking voice like I am now. But anytime you get excited or move closer to the mic for a second, it sounds...
Wait, your calm talking voice is meant to be at -6 dB. My calm speaking voice, like this voice, is at -20 dB.
Absolutely terrible. By setting your gain this high, you're leaving yourself zero headroom. And when you clip in the preamps, you have no way to recover that in the software. But if I set myself too quiet, how will anyone be able to hear me? You might be asking. I'll show you. Open OBS and look at the mixer section for your microphone input. Turn off any filters you have on it for now so we can get a more clear look at the raw levels and set the mixer slider back to 100% as well or to 0 dB.
All right, you know what? I'm going to do this too. I'm going to follow it from the top. All right. This is my mic settings. Just now, let me go to... It's because I'm using 2 different softwares. It's kind of fucky. Let's just go here and just turn the compressor off, like completely. So that's the wait, why is my DSO as so high? All right, I'm just going to turn that off. So that's 0, right? Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0s all across the board. And now I'm just going to talk normally. It's around -20.
Start talking at your regular streaming talking voice, and then turn down the gain dial on your audio interface until your peaks are sitting around -12 to -16 dB. This is going to be very low on your gain dial, most likely, especially if you're using a dynamic microphone. I'm not...
Okay. All right. So now I need to open up. I had it pretty much fine before, but this is fine tuning, okay? But it changes every day because I move my mic to and from my face every fucking 2 seconds. If you watch any of my stream, you know I'm always doing this. Like every 4 seconds, like a tick. Hold. 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 Okay, now I go to dinner. I'll be back. All right, have fun. All right. So normal talking voice, we want it somewhere between. What did he say?
I'm not giving exact numbers here because despite this is going to be the gain dial on your 100% as well, or to 0 dB. Start talking at your regular streaming dB. This is going to be down the gain dial on your audio interface until your peaks are sitting around -12 to -16 dB.
-12 to -16 dB. Wait, it's pretty much there. I'm the kind of the goat. I'm kind of the goat at like setting this shit up around -12 minus. All right, no, it's not. All right, so my usual speaking voice is something around here. It's sitting around -20, so it needs to be up around -12. So it needs to be up to here. So I do need to turn it up quite a little bit. So if I turn it up to like about here, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But like my regular speaking voice is like here. It's just bouncing around too much. Wait, is this normal? Wait, what's this black thing doing? What's this black bar? Is this black bar my actual thing? Does this need to be up there? Wait, what's this little black boy doing? Like going... What's that? What's this? Is this my normal? Wait. What? Did he talk about the black bar? It's just, don't just laugh.
This is going to be very low on your gain
All right.
dial. Most
No.
likely,
Okay, his is doing my thing.
I'm not giving exact numbers here because despite common belief, dB values for gain on
It's fine. All right. Yeah, he's not giving me... Shut up. This is the content for audio engineers. It's fine. Okay. All right, so as I'm talking, it needs to be a little bit higher, maybe a little bit higher. So we'll go 29. All right, good. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, cool. So now we can make that like around here, -12, -16. Perfect. Dude, nailed. Well, dude, we've actually nailed it. Dude. You know what, down now? No, yeah, perfect, done.
Interfaces are not actually comparable. Different interfaces have different preamps and different quality preamps, and beyond just the preamp stage, they can actually bring in the audio at different voltage levels during the ADC, or analog to digital conversion stage. So you can have the same game number on 2 different audio interfaces produce 2 different levels in OBS. Don't stress about specific numbers on your interface so much as the result you get here in OBS. Now that you've got your conversational peaks set, start talking or yelling excitedly, matching what would happen in a stream. If you gain for peaks around -12 dB, you might still need to turn it down a bit more if you're still clipping here. Generally, most people won't need more than 14 to 15 dB of headroom, but play with it to find a balance of not being any quieter than -16 or -18 dB for your talking peaks, but not clipping for your excitement. You want your loudest peaks you can generate to be at, say, -.
All right, so I don't want to clip. Okay. Wait, my loudest can't clip. Wait, I'm still not clip. Oh, I have the no clipping thing attached. Hold up, filter. Get rid of that limiter, that pesky thing. Yo! All right, we're still not clipping. Oh, it's fine. All right. Yeah, no, we're talking pretty loud. All right, it's not clipping. Perfect. I'm going to put that limiter back on, but because that limiter is kind of fucking PogChamp. All right, done.
-3 to -4 dB. Obviously, if you absolutely just lose your mind on stream, there will be some clipping at some point, but not for most of it.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to tell you that your quest for gaming and streaming PC hardware is over.
Stop this.
Or get a new PC.
Stop this.
It's a mess.
Ah. Especially sped up. That kind of scared me.
Filter that matches where your conversational peaks live. So if it was looking to be around -12 dB on average, add 12 dB of gain. If it was -16 or -18,
whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Add a filter to your mic device here in OBS. Add a gain filter that matches where your conversational peaks live. So if it was looking to be around -12 dB on average, add 12 dB of gain. If it was -16 or -18, set it to the positive version of that. By the way, gain is just added volume, so to speak. A little bit different with voltages and analog levels, but it's fine.
Wait, so he's adding 15 more minutes. 15 more level of dB. Why? It's the VU meter.
Bring your levels back up. A common myth is that having low levels and amplifying digitally will add hiss or noise. This generally isn't true. Digital gain itself is inherently clean and free of added noise. The only time this should really be the case is if your preamp gain is so quiet that your voice is very close in levels to the self-noise of your audio hardware, which should never really happen, and something else might be wrong if so. Obviously, if we leave it at this, once you start getting loud again, you will be clipping still, just digitally instead of in your preamp.
In this sample, I have the gain set too high, and I'm clipping in my preamps.
Now we're clipping, but we're clipping digitally instead. Probably sounds better than before, but not ideal. We're going to add a limiter here to make sure that you never clip, and I'll explain what that means. But first, if you do have any existing filters you like to use aside from gain, EQ, compression, those kinds of things, those would go here after the gain filter. A compressor will already help do a good job of keeping you from clipping in this scenario, as it takes all of the audio levels that hit a certain threshold and squishes
All right,
around
so
12 dB on average.
Boost back is what he wants me to add. He wants me to add a boost back. Boost back sounds fucking sick. Let's add a boost back. Properties. Not properties. Filters. Where's my filter is at? What's a boost bag? The ADD 2 times video speed sending. Dude, he speaks so slowly. All right, where's boost bag? Dude, I don't even have a. Oh, is this just it? Is it just gain? All right, gain. So he wants me to add more gain. Like, wait, that's way too much gain. Yeah. Yeah, that's way too much gain. I'm just going to add a little bit less. A little bit less. Dude, why do I feel like this is way too fucking loud? How's chat? Dude, what does it sound like in chat? Oh, wait, no, my shit's cooked. I want to see what it sounds like on stream. Before it sounds so bad. Before it sounds so bad. It does sound bad. Dude, what? Before it sounds so bad. It does sound bad. Dude, what? Actually, it doesn't sound that bad. Alright, so he wants me to add 12 dBs of dB. Alright, we can add 12 dBs of BB, or whatever. Dude, I don't understand why we're adding extra, but I'll trust the process, okay? I'll trust the process. Alright, close.
12 dB of gain. If it was minus 16 or minus 18, set it to the positive version of that. By the way, gain is just added volume, so to speak. A little bit different with voltages and analog levels, but it's fine. This will bring your levels back up. A common myth is that having low levels and amplifying digitally will add hiss or noise. This generally isn't true. Digital gain itself is inherently clean.
Alright, I'm not understanding, so I'll probably have to just drop it down to 1.25.
Add a filter to your mic device here in OBS. Add a gain filter that matches where your conversational peaks live. So if
That what? Where my conversational peaks, add a gain filter to mimic where my social peaks are. So if my social peaks are... What? Dude, I feel like I'm being fucked right now. What's going on? You're setting gain wrong.
preamps and different, don't stress, but play with it to find a balance of not being any quieter than minus 16 or minus 18 dB for your talking peaks, but not clipping for your excitement. You want your loudest peaks you can generate to be at, say, minus 3 to minus 4 dB.
Conversational, loud. Cool.
Obviously, if you absolutely add a filter to your mic device here in OBS, add a gain filter that matches
gain filter that matches where my conversational peaks live. Okay, cool. All right, I now understand that because I didn't skip anything and I just listened to you the whole time. Okay. Filters. Gain. Gonna turn it off. All right, so where's my conversational peaks? My conversational peaks is around like 4. Wait. Yeah, my conversational peaks is actually, wait. My conversational peaks is actually so loud. I'm such an obnoxious person. Wait, it's around 15. All right, so my conversational peaks, if I'm talking normally, it's around 15. So this would now need to mimic that. So I'm trying to make all my audio 0, right? Is that what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make all my audio go to 0. So because I think I'm generally a little bit loud, and I'm getting kind of self-conscious. Apparently, I'm the most obnoxious person in the world. I'm going to go 13.5. 13. It's because my hard letters are loud. My hard letters. What do you mean my hard letters are loud? Like P's and B's. My P's and B's are loud? Fuck you! Your P's and B's are loud. Dude, I need a voice coach. I need a voice coach. I'm just saying, no, it's fine. I'm not taking offense. I'm just hamming it up for the stream. All right, so plus 13. Plus 13. Yeah, my P's and B's are loud. Okay, fine. We'll go plus 13. We'll be a little bit... Look, no, you know what? No, I'm going to do it properly. I'm not going to pull punches, even though my P's and B's are loud. All right, close. Done. Let's listen.
You know, it was looking to be around minus 12 dB on average, add 12 dB of gain. If it was minus 16 or minus 18, set it to the positive version of that. By the way, gain is just added volume, so to speak. A little bit different with voltages and analog levels, but it's fine. This will bring your levels back up. A common myth is that having low levels and amplifying digitally will add hiss or noise. This generally isn't true. Digital gain itself is inherently clean and free of added noise. The only getting loud again, make sure that you down by the ratio you use aside from gain, you know, EQ, compression, those kinds of things. Those would go here after the gain filter. A compressor will already help do a good job of keeping you from clipping in this scenario, as it takes all of the audio levels that hit a certain threshold and squishes them down by the ratio you set. This helps even out the louder parts of your speaking to the quieter parts to provide a more consistent sound at the cost of dynamic range, and helps keep you from clipping, though it won't guarantee that you won't clip. If you're looking for recommendations on compressor settings, here's what I recommend as just a generic setup. I like a
Copy time. Copy time. Should I compress in here or in OBS? I kind of want to compress here because I want my microphone across the board to sound good, you know? All right, ratio threshold 16. Oh! Oh! And then you bring it back down. Wait, then what's the point in boosting it and then fucking bringing it back down? Oh, because it's clean boosting. So it's just adding clarity. Oh my god. Oh, it's oh. Is brain do the thing? All right, so however much I boosted it by, let's bring that as my thing. So let's go threshold minus 15. So here, bro, dude, it's making me salivate a little bit. Light bulb moment. Light bulb moment. All right, threshold, and then wait, what are you doing? Fuck off. Attack release rate. What ratios he's got? 3.2 output gain 0 release. Why is his release higher than my release? Why have a high release? What the 1 second compress? Dude, I'm gonna do that. That's fucking cool. Giga attack. Wait, no, I kind of don't. What is that? Why is that giga attack? Why is that like? Okay, I feel like that's a scam. $200. What? Why can't you go to 200? What's wrong with you? All right, slow release. Nice, cool, and done. Yeah, my microphone should now like sound good, right? Wait, but now look, I like even when I'm loud, it doesn't go loud. It just sounds loud. Wait, does this sound any good? It sounds so shit. Wait, hold up. Does it sound any good? I can't hear myself. It sounds so shit. Wait. Hold. I need to wait. All right, how do we sound? How do we sound? Hold. I need to wait. All right, how do we sound? How do we sound? Hold. Actually sounds pretty good. Or am I dumb and uneducated? Good. Am I dumb and uneducated? Wait, fine. No, just if you're like the audio giga engineer of death, can you just tell me if it sounds good or bad? Because I don't know. I just don't think I have like the greatest voice for speaking. So when I add all this extra stuff to it, it just makes it sound worse. No, I mean, it sounds good. All right, sure.
Fast attack and slow release, but some might prefer it to look a little bit more like this instead.
Recommended compressing alternative. What is that? What? Threshold minus 20. Wait, was I meant to be in the minuses? Fix in OBS. Wait. Minus. Wait, was mine in minus? Was mine? Oh yeah, mine was minus. So why does his threshold go all the way down to 20? And mine was like 15? Maybe I make it like so I'm a little bit louder. That's less of a compressor. Cool. Oh, and then the makeup gain. And then you bring it back up by a little bit. Dude! Save.
Generic setup. I like a fast attack and slow release, but some might prefer it to look a little bit more like this instead. The ratio is how much the loud parts get squished down. 3:1 and 4:1 are typically considered best for vocals. 4:1 is most commonly recommended, but I find myself leaning more towards 3:1 these days for a little bit more of a natural sound. The threshold is the level that has to be hit from your voice volume before the compressor actually activates. The lower you set this, the more punchy and over the top your audio will sound, as it will compress more of your voice together. The higher you set it, the louder you have to get in order to activate it, so it'll sound a little bit more natural.
Okay.
Minus 18 to minus 12 is generally a good range for a passive sound if you're setting it for the threshold without trying to sound like you're on an AM radio. Attack and release are how quickly after your levels hit that threshold.
Oh, shit. He's gonna get to the gain, isn't
10
he?
milliseconds might sound more.
Why am I skipping?
Those sentences in and how long after you dip back below that threshold it turns off. I like a long release because I have a pretty, in and out peaky speaking pattern, and a slow release helps keep those sentences consistent without.
Oh, that's like me. I have an obnoxious way of speaking too.
Just to act quickly, but a slower attack close to maybe 10 milliseconds might sound more natural to you. Leave output gain at 0. We've already gained enough. Let's add your limiter now. A limiter is basically the same as a compressor, only the ratio that it squishes your audio down by dynamically changes based on what's required to keep your audio below the threshold or ceiling that you set. In this case, we basically want our microphone to be as loud as possible without clipping, but we also want to give a tiny bit of headroom to account for the fact that our stream most likely will have other sounds added in the mix. Music, voice chat, system sounds, game sounds, whatever your stream entails. So I tend to set the limiter to -2 to -3 dB as the threshold to allow for enough headroom overall. In an ideal scenario, OBS would have a master mix or master bus that we could normalize or apply a limiter to for the full audio mix, but currently it does not. The release for the limiter is just like the compressor, how long it holds on to that limit. -50 to -60 dB is considered best to keep from having.
What's mine at? I think I put mine to like 1.2. Where's mine? What are you? Filters. Limiter. We'll just go straight to 2, bro.
Intermittent clipping after it releases. Slider for your
In my preamps. Now we're clipping, but we're clipping digitally instead. All right, in this sample, we have reduced our preamp gain back up in OBS, and now we have a compressor set to -16 decibels. Now we have the compressor and limiter set up, and it doesn't matter how loud I yell, we're not getting past -2 dB. Oh, yeah, boy.
Noting here that if you have an audio interface with built-in processing on a DSP, such as the GoXLR, the Beacon microphone, the PreSonus Revelator line of products, microphones or interfaces, most of this will be managed in your hardware settings. So you just need to set that up in your hardware control panel and then set up the -1 to -2 dB limiter in your mic track on OBS. Easy mode. Also, some of you might be thinking, well, this is cool for OBS, but I'm still
Dude, these graphics are so ass.
Super quiet in Zoom, aren't I? And the answer is yes, actually. That's why cool interfaces with built-in processing hardware like the PreSonus or GoXLR boxes are so useful, or why people prefer analog processing chains before the
Bro, look, I don't know. Look how heavy I'm attacking it.
Let you add VST plugins that basically do all of this before your audio goes to another program are so useful. This is not just a gimmicky streamer tax that many would lead you to believe. It's actual, tangibly useful features. But also, video conferencing apps aren't really made to be that friendly with professional audio gear, so you're better off in many cases just using a headset mic for your calls or meetings anyway. Or if you're only going to be doing this kind of conferencing and not streaming with apps like OBS at all, then you can gain stage higher to meet the needs of that application. Just be careful with your peaks. Or look into a hardware channel strip that does some of this before your signal hits your PC. Video on some of these options coming soon. Finally. Alternatively, you could check out Voicemeeter or SteelSeries' new app if you want a software-only solution, but your mileage may vary there. Now, let's move on to the rest of your stream mix. The first step is to consider the different sources your stream may have. Write out a list if you need to think it through. Your voice, of course, but will there be other voices via voice calls, background music, videos you want to be heard, sound effects, game sound?
Okay.
These all need to be balanced to create an enjoyable mix, but also
Okay.
power your voice. According to the OBS wiki, these are the zones that sounds should live at, but I'm not sure this is the most clearly communicated thing. I'd say that these zones are meant for average levels, not peaks. Average vocal levels being below -dB is going to be pretty quiet, but having your peaks being limited to -4 dB with the previous steps in the video would be just fine. Background sound, such as a music bed, should generally live between -28 dB and -40
All right, where's my music?
in my experience. That's a pretty big range, but it depends on the type of music. Peaceful, slow music can be tolerated at
Chillin'.
much louder levels than fast, heavy-hitting tracks like the royalty-free rock music from our Backing Track music label, for example. Backingtrack.gg. That heavier music can still be used, you just need to turn it down some more. Game sound and other elements that are part of the interactive experience of your stream, such as sound effects for stream alerts or videos that you play in your browser that you're watching with your viewers. Those should live in the -20 to -30 dB range, but usually closer to -25-ish maybe. You probably want these to be clearly audible, but to not muddy up the mix and make it hard to understand you. I have a secret trick for helping this in just a moment. If you have voice chat going, you want those levels to be pretty close in range to your voice, but a few dB lower on average since your squad isn't the focus of your stream. You are. Setting those levels with the sliders here in the OBS mixer is fine and dandy. You could also set it with the limiter as well, limiting each source to specific levels that you want them to be at. Totally fine. However,
Cringe.
there's some other tricks that we can leverage for smoother results than that.
Hey,
If you're
Curtis.
game streaming, you generally want your audience to hear your game. You just
No, I
don't
don't.
be overpowering your voice or maybe even your voice chat. Wouldn't it be nice
No
to
games.
have your game be at a higher
We're
volume?
only going to be doing audio streams
And
because
for
it's going to
this, we
take
leverage
me
a
fucking.
technique called auto ducking, which automatically ducks or lowers the
Right.
level of a source, in this case our gameplay sound,
Yeah.
based on the level
We
of
learned
another
this
source,
in the last
such as
episode.
microphone. This is also called side chaining, where you activate the effect of one processing chain based on the activity of another
Okay.
source. Before we set this up, I do need you to do a couple things. First, write down where you have your game sound set at currently, as we're going to change that.
Like
Next,
35,
have the
30.
game open, as you would for a stream, and play around with the mixer levels and raise the game sound to a higher level that you'd be comfortable with it being at for when you're not talking. This
can
might
do
be
that
a
on the
fair bit
side.
louder than you had it at previously. Now we're ready to set up the audio ducking. Click the settings cog for your game sound source, be it a capture card, mixer entry, or your desktop audio.
It's because I know I feel like I have it set up wrong.
Call this mic ducking.
All right,
You're going to
let's
set up
duck.
normal compression settings for your game sound. The goal here is to squish your game sound back down to the levels you had it at previously. If you want easy settings to copy what I have here. But it's worth noting that the lower you have your slider set to back in the OBS mixer, the lower the ratio you want to set. So for example, I have my ratio set to 8.5 to 1 because I have my game sound up fairly loud in the slider itself at minus 26 dB. But if you push the
What is he saying? That's what I mean. I just don't.
want as high of this might be a fair bit louder than you had it at previously.
When you'd go down and then bring it back up, I did this.
Click the settings cog for your game sound source, be it a capture cards, mixer entry, or your desktop audio. Go to filters, click the plus, and add a compressor. Call this mic ducking. Here, we're going to set up normal compression settings for your game sound. The
Okay.
goal here is to squish your game sound back down to the levels you had it at previously. If you want,
Wait, what does that mean? Back down to the levels that you had it at previously.
the lower
It hasn't moved.
back in the OBS mixer, the lower the ratio you want to set. So for example, I have my ratio set to 8.5 to 1 because I have my game sound up fairly loud in the slider itself at minus 26 dB. But if you push the slider down to minus 30 to minus 40 dB, then you don't want as high of a ratio, as it won't need pushed quite as, quietly compared to where it's currently at. Similarly, the higher you have your slider set to, the higher ratio you'll want it switched down in order to get more quiet below your voice when you're talking. The threshold setting in this context will be the level that your microphone has to reach before it starts lowering your game sound. I have mine set to about minus 28 decibels, as this is where some of my quieter words start showing up,
Okay.
and thus I want to be heard starting at this level. I set a super fast attack, as you want it to start squishing your game sound as soon as you
So-
start talking. Setting this slower will result in your first couple words or sounds not really being heard. I set release really slow at about 650 milliseconds, as this allows it to stay quiet for longer to account for pauses in speech without constantly bouncing up and down. A fast release will result in the sound pulsing in between
Alright.
words in a way that would be really annoying for your viewers to listen to over time. Leave output gain at 0. The last option, the sidechain/ducking source drop-down menu, is where we choose our microphone. This tells the compressor to act based on activity from your microphone source. Choose your mic.
Okay.
Going up the bridge, I'm gonna try to shield pop. Alright, yep, he's knocked. Alright, he's down. We still got one more.
This is so fucking annoying. Well, this is a better video. Why is my shit so laggy today? Am I downloading anything? Oh. Hey, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing?
As well, so you can set it up for game sound, for music, and even videos you have playing. Though you'd probably want different levels for each type of source, so that you, if you map them to different audio devices. For example, videos
It's
I'm
Steam,
watching with
dude.
my viewers, I would want to be louder than, on average, than my background music, because quiet levels set for game sound or background sound might be a little too quiet for my viewers to really understand the videos we're watching.
Okay.
Background music should generally be set quieter than, say, game sound, for example,
Alright.
because otherwise it's gonna
Yeah.
your game sound.
I understand.
And your viewers want to hear your game first.
Yes.
You probably want to set a very gentle audio ducking compressor with a smaller ratio on your voice chat device as well. That
Hey
way
Curtis,
your
by the
voice
way, what's
chat
up, dude?
gains get quieter
Lovely to
and
see you
easier,
today.
Just to make sure that you're front and center for your viewers. Especially handy for those of you who like to talk to your viewers while you are muted in your voice chat, but your voice chat is still audible. Another handy trick is that you can set up multiple ducking compressors on a single source at a time.
What's this
Game
threshold?
sound and background
Oh, that's
music
different.
duck both for your voice and your voice chat, so that voice chat doesn't get overwhelmed either. Just right-click the compressor filter and choose duplicate, and then change the ducking source to your voice chat device instead.
This is
of course, I'd recommend
when I
adding ducking
talk.
and maybe a limiter
Oh,
to
what?
as well. Alert
So
sound
this is
effects
whenever I
as well
talk.
stream
My talks are
very fast.
my
Outside of
talking is
ducking and
usually
sidechaining, you may also want to play
now
around
that
with
it's like
generally
all up
compressing your
here.
game
I
sound
can
or
like
background music sources to help normalize
Done?
their audio levels a bit, since
Done.
Done? Different songs can have different impacts, and games have a wide variety of sound levels based on
changeable.
action. You could also consider an EQ to add a high pass filter. and
Okay.
use some of the boominess of music or game sound to blend better in your mix.
Oh. less
I
satisfying.
personally like adding some cassette tape style lo-fi VSTs to my music track without the added noise or hiss feature, because that's just obnoxious, to help it blend better into my mix without being too, boomy and overwhelming. There's a lot you could do. Make it yours. For voice chat, I recommend using a compressor and a limiter, along with turning on loudness normalization in Windows if you have a dedicated audio device for your voice chat output, as from the Go XLR, Wave XLR, Beacon Mix Create, and etc., to help even out the different voices and different levels in, say, Discord or whatever. It makes a huge difference. Ultimately, the
I don't
final
have that
step will
separate.
always be to test, and test some more. No amount of specific settings suggestions replace testing things in your environment with
Shut
your
up.
unique setup and seeing what sounds balanced and doesn't.
Just
click
tell
to
me
you. Use
what
these
to
settings as a
apply.
guide, but make tweaks based on your needs. Everyone's streams are different. If you're one of those streamers who think
All right, I want to go back to this video
bad stream audio got you down, burning
and
your
go to the upwards compressor thing, and then we can just do this.
a couple different things. All right, so in this case, I have dragged on a video of Apex Legends, and the audio is playing. You can see it is very loud. I will go ahead and just fit, but I'm not gonna hear it.
Show me the fucking settings, bitch.
But things happen, so we're gonna
Yeah,
set.
perfect. Upwards compressor has to be above the compressor, by the way. Is it? It's not. Oh, I am fucking useless. All right, fixed.
We want it set pretty quiet. Whenever something is quieter than, say, minus 45.
So anything quieter than minus 45. Okay. But like, where's that on OBS? So minus 45 is like here. So pretty quiet. Anything less than that. Yeah, what do I have it now? Okay, so I have it pretty much set up the same, right?
Because we can see here our averages are around here. We want a decent attack.
And a pretty long release. All right, so I have a very similar setup there. So the upwards compressor first, and then the actual compressor after it. The upwards compressor is 0.2. This is like anything below 40 tick. Maybe a little bit more quieter than that, actually. Around here, 5, and then boom, 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 and then knee width. Boom, done. Close, close. I'm closing everything. I'm closing it. It's done. It's done. I don't care anymore. It's done. It's chilling. It's done. It's fine. It's done. It's chilling and done. And done and chilling and fine also. Oh, man. I'm sad. How's it sound, though? Are we good? Are we good? Do we sound good? If we don't, then I'll throw myself off on a bridge. It's fine. It probably was fine to begin with, but now I've put myself on this, like, track, you know? And I can't stop thinking about it for some stupid reason. Stop thinking about it for some stupid reason. It sounds normal. I just have a shit voice. It sounds normal. I just have a shit voice. It sounds normal. I just have min-maxing my build. Oh, okay. Your voice is fine. Oh, well, people say that, but no, it sucks. Everyone hates their own voice, I suppose. Well, if you thought I was raging before. Dude, I just downloaded it. I hate everything. Library, recent. This one. Hey, Brad, welcome back. I changed a whole bunch of settings on my EQ and did the queuing and the Eing. If it's bad, it's bad. I think it's good though. Hopefully. Quit again? Yes. Yes, I quit League. What are you gonna do, dude? I like how you heard the birds and you knew. Alright. Alright, before I start, guys, let me just quickly mess around with the audio settings. I'll be back.